All right, we're live on Facebook. It says I'm live on Facebook. We'll see. Can anybody see me on Facebook? Get the YouTube thing to work. So now we're going on Facebook Live. I don't know why that the YouTube's not working. I'm going to have to work on that. But we're live on Facebook. We're talking fishing today. Who else wants to talk fishing? We're going to talk fishing. Hello, Akasha. Aren't you supposed to be working? Hello, Ryan William, Randy Jones. Hey, Randy, how you doing? Carol Holston. Good evening. Good to see all y'all. Sorry about the if you guys tried to watch me on get the net. If you guys tried to watch me on YouTube, I tried to get that to work, and for some reason I couldn't get it to work. It kicked me off. If you guys were watching me on there, sorry about that. But we're going to try the Facebook Live and see how that works, if it works any better. You guys got any questions? Wintertime fishing. I got some product here I'll show you guys that I got in the mail today that I'm really anxious about using this winter. Machines are running. Well, that's good. Your maintenance. Running's good. That means you got less to do. But one thing that I got, last time I went fishing with Blake, he gave me some of these. Where's my camera at? There it is. Trapper hooks. If you guys, anybody use these trapper hooks? Blake loves them. I've not got a chance to use them yet. I'm going to use them at some point, probably on a blade bait or a crankbait. Blake loves them, so I'm going to try to use those as well. Also, got me some gloves in the mail today. My good friends at TH Marine. Something blinked, and I don't know what it was. But I got these for summertime. They got mesh on the back, a little grip in the front. But I'm going to use these here in the winter, so keep my hands warm. I can't use real thick gloves because I can't hold on to anything while I'm reeling with those big thick gloves on that you got to wear. So usually my hands are cold all winter long. Y'all like that? Like my logo on here? My wife made that. It was awesome. She usually takes care of me. Another product I got in the mail today. If you guys fish solo, and I'll try to get the glare off of this. This is from TH Marine as well. It's called, if you don't know what it is, basically it's a big bungee cord with hooks on the end, and you attach it to your rope on your trailer when you're letting your boat out, and you just let a lot of line of rope out or strap. You can back your boat into the trailer, into the water, excuse me, pull forward, and then that bungee will bring your boat back up to the ramp, and you won't have to climb in the back of your truck, climb on the trailer. In the wintertime, it's good because, you know, you can get icy and you can fall. And if you're like me and clumsy as an ox, it's a product I have used before. I used the other one. And really liked it. Just hadn't had a chance to get me another one, but I really like it. So if you guys fish by yourself, which I do probably 90% of the time all year, that Z-Launch is a good product to have. Does the rope have an app? I don't know what that means. Glenn Skidmore, does the rope have a... I don't know what you're trying to tell me there, but Levi, drinks good. So, check my Facebook right quick, my old dinger thing. But wintertime is cheap brown cotton gloves work great. Have several pairs. Those are great. Wintertime fishing. What's you guys' favorite lures to use this time of year? Me personally, I've been using an Alabama rig or an A-rig with a little bit of success. Went yesterday fishing and didn't do too good on it. I threw it a little bit. Didn't really get bit. It's kind of it's an on and off thing for me. I did catch a couple of blade bait. It was red colored that blade bait that I painted red myself. Had a couple bites on it, and I had one on spinnerbait. So it was a little slow bite for me yesterday. The water's been up and down and left and right, muddy and clear. So it's just been a little tough fishing for me personally. I've seen some guys and catching a bunch. Maybe some pictures they took over the summer, but been seeing a lot of good fish being caught. Just struggling here lately, but not going to give up. But if you guys do follow me on YouTube, and if you're not a subscriber, please do go and subscribe on YouTube after we get done here. But I've made a couple of videos on making some different lures. If you guys have never made your own lures, it's a really satisfying thing to do. It does cost a little bit of money to get into it, but once you've got your stuff, it kind of gets a little bit cheaper after that. I make some blade baits, I make some drop shot weights and some jigs. But I enjoy doing it. Glenn, very shallow. Yes, I did catch my fish real shallow yesterday. And I think the last week, I went as well, and I caught them real shallow as well. I did catch one yesterday on a spinnerbait. I figured the wind would help that bite. It did a bit, but just the bites were not real hard yesterday. It wasn't like the traditional thump yesterday. It was just like you had a big clump of grass on your lure or something. My spinnerbait was chartreuse and white, and I had gold double Colorado blades on those. That's what I was catching them on yesterday. I threw a white grub as well, and I did get a couple of bites on that. And the other bait was that red blade bait. And I know a lot of people are probably in the world, are you telling people what you're fishing with and why you or what you caught them on? But I've kind of stepped away from the tournament scene, and I don't really fish tournaments that much anymore. And I just enjoy making my videos and kind of helping other people catch fish if I can. Charles hates the A-rig. I have a love-hate relationship with the A-rig myself. I either love it or I hate it. It's either on or off for me. There's never been a time that I've used an A-rig to where I catch one here and I catch one there. It's either I'm just slamming them with it, or it's just like a barren wasteland, and I throw that thing all day with not even a bite. But I'm with you on that, Glenn. It's it's just love-hate. I have caught some nice fish on an A-rig, and I've caught some doubles on an A-rig before. It's just not. It's either on or off for me. There's no in between, and it's not one of those lures I can throw all day hoping I'm going to, something run into it. It's I throw it, and if it's not working, I'll put it down, and I won't pick it up again. But this time of year, that's really the bait that people are catching them on. Most of these tournaments, truth be told, the guys are going to be catching those on an A-rig. So got 12 people watching right now, if this thing's correct. Good to see everybody tonight. What's your guys' favorite lures or your confidence lures this time of year? Comment below. Levi, hit Hurricane Creek up. I have not fished Hurricane Creek in a long time. I used to go there pretty much every weekend. And just the lake got weird on me. I just got to where it was everybody in the world was fishing there. And the fishing got a little bit tough. And I hear it's really still tough, but not a lot of people fish it. The store's closed down there now. the ramp got real bad down there as far as the concrete on it kind of busted a little bit. It was hard to get your boat in and out. But I have been meaning to go back to Hurricane Creek now. And I really used to just love Hurricane Creek, and I used to do really well out there. And I really would like to go back. May try to hit that this summer sometime, and if I do, Levi, I'll hit you up and we'll go, buddy. But hi, Ernest. Hi, Mama. My mom's watching. Ain't that special? You put in there last year, wasn't that bad. I hear there's a lot of crappie also in Hurricane Creek. I had my cousin went out there a couple of years ago, and he just wore them out on a crappie out there. And I've actually caught some catfish out there. Used to have my certain spots I could go to and just wear them out all day long, but it got to where it was just a little tough, and I started fishing Pickwick more, so I just haven't been to Hurricane Creek in a long time. Glenn McTen cast with an A-rig, then I'll change colors fast so they hit. Good idea. I'm stubborn. I usually throw a white. Right now, I think I've got 2 white small swim baits. I think I've got a Zoom swimmer that's like I think it's a 5-inch version of the Zoom swimmer, and I've got also 2. I think there's Z Bait Company. There's those X swimmers. I think it's kind of a blue pearl color is what I've got tied on mine right now. And I've had tied on for a while now. I get stubborn about changing colors on A-rig because to me it's either on or off. So I don't usually give it a whole lot of time. Not enough time as I need to. Need a pink Zebco and a little green lure. Those, you're right on that. Sucker will wear me out with sucker. So, y'all comment below. Who's been throwing jerk baits? Anybody been throwing jerk baits a lot? I've tried it a little bit. Haven't had a lot of success. Don't throw a jerk bait a whole lot. I know it's a really good wintertime bait. Just me personally, from working on a computer and drumming for 20 years, my wrist just really can't handle a jerk bait for very long. Have caught some nice fish on it. I've seen some giant smallmouth caught on a jerk bait. It's just not one of the lures that I've got just a lot of confidence in. But jerk baits are a killer bait. Baseball Bang, my brother, and I was on A-rig a couple years ago on Winter Trail. I just can't stand that bait, and that's why we don't fish the Winter Trail anymore. Not throwing it. You'll get beat. That is absolutely true, Charles. At this time of year, you're either winning with an A-rig or you're getting beat by it. I mean, that's just a fact. Here on any TVA lake, that's the bait to throw. I'll pass this time of year, I'll pass 10 boats, and probably 9 out of the 10 boats are throwing an A-rig this time of year. And, it's just one of those baits that just puts numbers in the boats. When it's on for some people. And, there are some people that, like a crankbait, there are some people who are just surgical with a crankbait. And the A-rig is the same way. Some people can fish it and they'll modify it and just like any other lure. And they'll kill it. I know that some guys fish it a lot, but you got to be careful on Pickwick because there are certain areas. Tennessee only allows 3 hooks on an A-rig. Mississippi and Alabama, you can throw 5 hooks, meaning 5 baits with hooks. And in Tennessee, you can throw 5 wires, but 2 of the baits can't have hooks. You can have teasers on there. Some people put a grub on there. I've used them with grubs as a teaser, or some other swim baits, or I've just left them off. But check your local laws if you're throwing an Alabama rig, because in Tennessee, you cannot throw a 5-wire. And I actually done a video once on how to fish an A-rig, and I was in Tennessee and didn't know it. And it was a really good video, and I was really proud of it when I put it out. But I had a tournament director call me and kind of give me a heads up that, hey, I did, he knew where I was at just based on what was around me. and kind of give me a heads up that I was fishing illegally, and I really didn't know it. But I appreciated him for that, and it kind of hurt my feelings because I had to take that video down because I'd worked hard on it. It was a really good one, and the bite was real good that day. But he did give me a heads up, and I took it down. A separate video on it for that. Charles Watts like a little John Little Spro MD and a jig. Very good baits. That John Little Spro is really good. I've got one in my boat, and I throw it every now and then. Jig. I'm not a big jig fisherman. I throw it, and I've caught a lot of fish on it. Typically, the fish that, in my experience, and some other my friends have given me some advice on this, you'll generally catch a better quality fish on a jig in general. But and I have most of my jig bites that I've got have been keeper fish. But I just haven't thrown it a lot and got just a ton of experience with a jig. I know I probably need to do better at it, just to be more well-rounded. Brian Wager, fish the winter trail and do not throw an A-rig. Well, Brian, you're going to have to message me and tell me what you are catching them on. Because I struggle sometimes in the wintertime. Now, blade bait, I really love a blade bait when it gets this cold. Myself, personally, it's kind of a little bit easier to throw on, especially on your shoulders. I'm in East Tennessee. Where are you from? Okay. Glenn Skidmore, you're in East Kentucky. I'm in Northeast Mississippi, and I fish Pickwick Lake. You fish Norris, Cherokee, and Douglas. I'm not anywhere close to East Kentucky. Sorry about that. But I do fish primarily Pickwick Lake. Have I ever fished the SOB? Yes, I have fished the, that is a stay on bottom crankbait. Not fished it a lot, but I do have some in the boat. Charles Hatton, hope I'm saying Chris Hatton, excuse me. But Charles, or excuse me, Chris Hatton. I'll get it right here in a minute. That SOB, I'm assuming you're talking about the stay on bottom crankbait. It's a very good crankbait. I understand people catch a lot of fish on it. Being a TVA lake that I fish, primarily, it may surprise a lot of people. I am not a ledge fisherman. I've tried it. I just, you got to have, really good electronics and a really good trolling motor to keep you on your spot, and I just don't have those. I've got a very nice Helix 9 that I have at the console. I love it. I've got an older, I think it's a 598 on the front that it does have mapping on it. Both of my graphs have mapping. I have caught some ledge fish. I just haven't had the time. I don't really have the patience for it, just to be honest with you, just to idle out there for hours and find the big mega schools. I just I like to be chunking and winding. If I'm gonna fish, I'll fish I'll fish the bank, I'll fish marinas and docks. I've got more patience. I can fish docks all day long and not get a bit and not get a bite. I've got more patience doing that than I do just burning gas out there on those ledges and trying to hunt a mega school. I mean, but in the summertime, that's what wins. It just does. But like I said earlier, I'm not much on the tournament scene anymore. Mostly because I just wasn't very good at it. I'll be honest with you guys. I got to where that I didn't enjoy it like I used to. When I was younger, I used to love to fish tournaments. I fished BFLs a lot. But I just got to where it just wasn't fun to me, and I just worried too much about it. Even when I would go out fun fishing, I would worry about what I would do in a tournament other than, actually just enjoying being out on the water. And last couple of years, I fished small clubs, and I just got to where I just didn't enjoy them like I used to. I enjoy making my YouTube videos, and I enjoy just going out and fishing and doing live streams like this and talking about fishing, and you know, I'll tell you straight up what I caught them on if you ask me. I don't care a bit in the world, and if you talk to me long enough, I'm liable to tell you where I caught them. Craig, how you doing, Craig? I ain't seen you in a while. No ledge, get out there and get after them. I hear you. I'm not. I don't ledge fish that much. I'm just, you know, I'm not very good at it. I need to get better at it to catch, you know, for the summertime. Maybe sometime you can guide me. I'd rather fish any of the FLW, BFL, and so on, and how to get started. If you're asking about how to get started in BFLs, I started as a co-angler years ago. I was in my mid-20s when first time I fished one, and I had a ball fishing the and I've got some friends and that fish them, and a couple of them are watching right now. They can probably give you some insight on the BFLs. Hadn't fished them in 10 or 12 years. I loved the BFLs when I did fish them. Met some really nice guys, and then a couple of tournaments I had some just jerks. I'm just going to be honest with you. The BFL, that's kind of a coin toss. Now I've got my own boat. If I did go back to fish BFLs, and I have thought about it, I would rather be a boater in the BFLs. Rather than a co-angler, just because I like to go where I want to go when I get ready to go, and not have somebody, if I'm fishing a spot, crank up and go somewhere else if I'm catching them and they're not. And I have had that happen. But being rather fish alone in the tournaments. Me too. When I had fished these local tournaments around here, a lot of times I would go by myself, even though the entry fee was still the same, whether I was a, you know, team tournament or I fished by myself. The tournament entry fees were the same, so I'd have to pay that fee by myself. But I understand where you're coming from on fishing alone. I enjoy doing that. Chris, Ram series is the way to go. I've heard that's a really good series. Is that a team trail or is that a draw tournament there, Chris? I've seen the Ram series a little bit, but I've not really got into it a lot to see the details of it. But if you're looking to get into tournaments, anybody other than the local tournaments, you know, the weekend anglers, if you're looking to really get serious about tournaments, I would 100% recommend a BFL tournament. You learn a lot and you meet some good guys, and you will get the occasional jerk here and there. But if you're looking to really get serious about the tournament scene, then the BFLs is really the way to go. I would advise that to anybody. And then after that, you can move up to the Costa Series, or, you know, if you really want to get serious, the Bass Opens. Their entry fees are about the same. They're about the same format now. Plus, you can use an Alabama rig in the Costa Series, which is really good. But you can in the tour level. They changed a lot of stuff up in the FLW. Have a team trail and a draw. Okay, it's a draw. One last thing, have a GoPro Hero 5. Can somehow use it to Facebook Live. I do not know. I'm using my crappy laptop and my screen isn't the best. But it would be nice if you could live stream on a Hero 5. I've got a Hero 5 myself. And I love using my Heroes. I love my GoPros. Wish I could figure out a way to hook those up. I'd rather use those than this camera here. Is not the best in the world. It's a laptop one. Charles Watt's only one on Pickwick this year. Is that I'm assuming you're talking about the Ram series. But yeah, tournament trails. I'll go check. Appreciate it, Glenn. If you find a way to hook those up to a laptop and live stream with those, shoot me a message. I'd really love to use a GoPro because I like that I like the GoPros a lot more than the camera on this one. I tried live streaming on YouTube, and for some reason it cut me off. I tried it on my iPad, which has a really, really good camera on it, but I couldn't get it to work. So we're going Facebook Live tonight. So anyway, Randy Whittle, good to see you. Todd Talley, good to see you. Lost my train of thought there. How many guys are looking at the Major League Fishing this year? I love to watch that TV show. Love to watch MLF. And they got the new series this year, which really shook up bass and FLW a lot. I'm looking forward to that in a few weeks, to watching that and live streaming it. But as far as tournaments goes, it'll be interesting to see, those guys that fish for a living, how they adapt to the somewhat no practice time, and just, going at it. I love to watch Major League Fishing, just to see, who has a meltdown really, and how they deal with all the pressure of the score tracker and the live updates. That'd be an event that, I would love to fish, but it would probably give me a nervous breakdown at the same time. But love that. I'd love to, get a chance to fish a Major League Fishing event. So, what's your guys' other best winter baits you guys have been catching them on here lately? And if anybody has got any Pickwick GPS coordinates, please post them below. Just kidding. I've been catching some, also getting a lot of bites on a Ned rig. I don't know if you guys use that rig a lot. See, Ram Series, just like BFL, just guaranteed to get to use your boat. No boat on boat draw. Well, that's good. Last question. How can a man that's serious get any sponsors? Well, loaded question. One of the, in my experience with sponsorships and pro staff, if you're getting a discount on product to promote them, to me, you're still a customer, but as far as pro staff, if you want to get serious about being sponsored, most sponsors right now will look at how you doing on your tournaments and how's your social media presence. If you've got a good social media presence and you're, winning tournaments, then the sponsors they'll come to you. I've hooked up with a couple in the past, and I've used some different companies. Right now, I've got a real good relationship with Flatlands Custom Tackle. Joey Watts has been really good to me, and he's got some really good products. His schoolie rig right now is one of the Alabama rigs that I've been using. Really, really good, well-built product. Most of, sponsors look at the products that you already use and that you've got a lot of confidence in, and go to those companies and say, hey, look, I fished this series. Here's my finishes. I've got a really strong either Instagram or YouTube presence. Be consistent on those as well. And, just try to build that relationship. And it's all about really more to them what you can do for that company more than what that company's going to do for you. If you can sell their product and get a lot of exposure for them, then you'll have a lot better working relationship. And it's really what it is. It's a relationship other than how much do the Flatland, excuse me, guys, I'm jumping. I'm trying to read these comments. Let me get back to sponsorships. You got to grow that relationship with them. And you're trying to help them as much as you're needing them to help you. Now, if you go out and say to a company, which I have done, hey, I've got this much presence, you know, what can you do for me? It's not the way to do it. What they want to hear is, what can you do for them? I've got a pretty strong Instagram activity. I try to be active on Instagram as much as possible, as Facebook and YouTube, and showcase the products that I use a lot, and try to showcase the companies that I work with as much as I can. And now, if I'm, you know, I don't have a relationship with Zoom. I wished I did. If I'm using a Zoom SuperHog, which I do a lot, I'll tell you I'm using a SuperHog from Zoom. But if it's if it's an Alabama rig, it's going to be a Flatlands Custom Tackle schoolie rig, and that's just the one I use. I don't remember right offhand. I'd have to look it up what Flatlands gets for their schoolie rigs. I would encourage each one of you to try the schoolie rig if you're looking for a good Alabama rig, and he makes them in all different configurations. I use the junior version of his schoolie rig. I think it's a 3/16 ounce head. I talked to a guy about this today, and I don't remember the weight on it. I'd have to look it up. But the schoolie rig is a really good rig. Let me see if I can get it on my iPad here right quick, and I can tell you guys exactly what it costs, exactly which one I use. All right. Let me go back up to the comments. Am I still using my Ultra Pro X camera? No, I still got it. I still it still works, but I just went to GoPros instead. I actually did get on the Pro staff with Ultra Pro X, but I tried to do a lot of promotion for them using those cameras, and I really never heard anything from them back. As far as I would try to reach out and say, hey, you know, how am I doing? Never heard anything back. So, and I started using GoPro, so I still got my Ultra Pro X camera, but I do not use them. Let's see. Let me get the schoolie rigs pulled up, and I can tell you what they cost and what they are. Okay, I use the Mini Flash Rig Junior as the one that I use, and those run schoolie rigs run anywhere from $7.99 is the HD schoolie rig, up to I think $16.99, and those are going to depend on the configuration of those. If you get a 3-wire, if you get blades on them, it's really going to depend how many wires you get on them. The HD is a 1/2 ounce, and the Mini Flash Junior is what I use, is let me go back to the schoolie rig Junior, 3/16. That's what I thought. I use that smaller one simply because if I want to get it deep, then the swim bait heads, you know, usually people use like an 1/8 ounce head. If I want to get that bait deeper, I'll just put a bigger jig head. So as far as the size of the schoolie rig, to me, I look more at the baits that I'm putting on. If I want to go deeper, then I will go and put a bigger head on my swim baits. Okay. Would you start with the social media and use a GoPro, improve their baits and the videos? That will help you out, yes. You know, as far as making GoPro videos, I'll be honest with you guys, probably for the first 6 months, my camera setup was a bungee cord and an iPhone. And that's just the God's honest truth. When I started making my videos, it was this older version of this iPhone that I've got right here, and I would bungee cord it to my back seat to where you could kind of get a good picture of me, and I used it. You didn't have to have a, you know, $400 or $500 GoPro. Use what you got to the best of your abilities until you can get better. Now, if you've got GoPros, then go ahead and use them. Yeah, they're great, and I love GoPros. I wish I had 10 of them on my boat. But yes, if you show videos of you catching fish, yes, that will help you. Actually, how I began my relationship with Flatlands is that I did a product review. I'd seen some posts from Joey Watts, the owner, and purchased some of his swim bait heads. Let's see, the Shimmer Swimmers. It's a swim bait head. It's kind of like an underspin, but not an underspin. It's kind of like a spinner bait with an underspin head on it. And I started using those, and I just did a product review. I'm like, hey, I've got these in the mail. Here's what they are. I like them. Showed me fishing with them, and then just started communicating back and forth with Joey Watts, the owner, and that's how our relationship grew. And I've been him. This will be my second year, I believe, with them. And really good guy, really good company, and I'm proud to be a part of them. But yes, definitely, if you go out and catch fish with their bait, I've had companies. I've just went out and fished. Just went out on a day of fishing and caught fish on, let's say, a rattle trap. And this has happened to me before. I went and I caught some fish on a rattle trap, and I actually caught my personal best at that time, which was just under 7 pounds. And I posted a video to my YouTube page, and I sent it to Rattle Trap. I said, hey, here's, me fishing with this. And, they sent me a couple of lures. And that's not the first company that's done that for me. I don't get paid at all off YouTube yet. I'm not that high up in the subscriber count and all their algorithms and everything. But I've actually had some companies that have been kind enough to me to send me some product just because they like the video that they saw me using on YouTube. And if you do YouTube videos and you do send that product, that'll help get your foot in the door with those companies and build that relationship. I'm trying to get me FLW Coast to BFN. Winning tournaments will get their attention, sure enough. Flatlands half-ounce schoolie rig, Tommy Thompson. Yes, sir. Tokyo rig, thoughts? Tokyo rig. Man, that's a weird-looking thing. My thoughts on the Tokyo rig is, and I'm not discounting it, I've not used it. This is just me looking and still using and still just looking at it online, what it is and what it does. To me, it's not much different than a drop shot as far as the length. You got this much, if you got a drop shot with this much a leader on it, how's that going to differ from a Tokyo rig? Now, where I think that will differ on the Tokyo rig is if you're punching mats, because, you've got that lead and the wire attached to your hook, and it'll get through and punch through. If you're punching, Tokyo rig would be the way to go. But if you're just out fishing, now I could be wrong. It's not much different than a drop shot rig with a very short leader on it. Chance Williams, are you still using Outcast fluoro? On a couple rods, I'm still using that fluorocarbon. It's good fluorocarbon. Good job. I've been there. Thanks. How many GoPros do you run on your boat? I do run. I've got 2 right now that I'm using. A lot of times I'll have one at my console, and sometimes I'll wear a chesty. Sometimes it just depends on what I'm doing, but generally I have 2 in the boat at all times. I have an older GoPro 4, and I've got the new, I guess you'd call it new body style. I don't have one in here with me, but it's the newer one, like the 5, 6, and 7. They look the same other than the older ones. I've got an older one, which I really like for certain situations, and I've got a new one that I like for certain situations. But I usually run 2. I used to run one on a big, tall pole behind me that got everything. But I got out of the habit of that, and now I just run one at the console, and sometimes I'll wear a chesty to have it in front of me. I really like that view personally myself, and sometimes I will even mount one. I've got a hold out. I can stick one that sticks right in front of me. But that's good if I'm explaining and fishing at the same time. I'll use it that way, or I will if I've got somebody in the back of the boat. If you guys, that last video I put with, I was fishing with Blake on I think it's called A-Rig Double Up on my channel, on my YouTube channel. I think that I had that one in the front because when Blake caught a fish, I wanted everybody to see that too as well. Okay, thanks for explaining any help. May God bless you. Thank you, Glenn. I appreciate you. All right, guys, we got any more questions? I've been here for about, gosh, 40 minutes. Enjoyed Facebook Live tonight. Enjoyed talking to everybody. I'm glad everybody tuned in to watch. Sorry I couldn't get the YouTube Live thing to work. Try that again. I'm still trying to figure that live stream out on YouTube. It's kind of weird. I did it one day and it worked great, and every time I've tried to do it since then, it's, after about 4 or 5 minutes, it's kicked me off for some reason. I don't know why. But Facebook Live is great. I interact with a lot of people on Facebook and Instagram as well. So if you guys are not following me on Instagram or YouTube, please go over there and do that. I would greatly, greatly appreciate it. All right, if nobody's got any questions, I'm probably going to cut out here tonight. It's I've been talking for about 40 minutes, and I think we've covered about everything. I'll try to do this again maybe next week. If you guys want to come back and chat with me next week, I'd appreciate it. I'll try to get some topics if I get anything in the mail. Let me go through that again in case somebody come in late. I got some gloves in the mail, TH Marine. Also, I got the Z-Launch. If you guys fish by yourself, this is the product to have. If you've not checked out the Z-Launch, it's basically a big bungee cord. It'll help you unload your boat better by yourself, and you won't have to climb in the back of your truck and get over in the trailer to unhook your boat, which I do all the time. But I got tired of doing that. I used to have a Z-Launch, and I used it so much it wore out and started fraying on me, and I haven't used one since last winter, and I figured I might ought to buy me another one because I'm clumsy and I will fall in the lake, and I do not want to fall in the lake in the middle of wintertime. But hey, just look at GoPro. All of us said you could FaceTime Facebook. I'll have to read more and look at it. Oh, good. All right, that's cool. Glenn, if you do find out how to do that, shoot me a message. I'd really, really appreciate that. And I'd really love to see how to FaceTime on Facebook with my GoPro because it's a little bit better quality. This is really grainy right now, and I really don't like it, but it's all I got. But I'm going to get out here. Thank you guys so much for tuning in tonight. I will be back. I'll try to do this again next week. I'm not sure what day. I'll try to post something on Instagram or Facebook, and if you guys can think of any topics, shoot me a message, direct message, and I'll write those down, and we'll go over that next week. But until then, good night, everybody. God bless you, and I appreciate you.